Hi, welcome to WPMeansBusiness.com bite-sized webinars. Today we're going to look at widgets and doing some widget wizardry. I have to get my teeth in for that one. We're going to look at what widgets are, how you can use them, what sort of widgets are available, and then some clever tricks that you can do with them to make them a little bit more exciting. If you haven't already been to WPMeansBusiness.com, please go there and you can sign up for our weekly schedule so you can find out what's happening this week, next week, and probably the week after. So I look forward to seeing you on future webinars. So let's get on with this one. Okay, so here's our demo website, and we have one sidebar. So a sidebar, it depends on your theme, but you may well have one sidebar, two sidebars, one on the left, one on the right. It may be you can turn it on and off on a page-by-page basis. In a future bite-sized webinar, you'll find that there'll be one on sidebars and creating sexy sidebars or something along those lines. I'm sure I'll find something original. But this is a sidebar. It could also be known as a widget area. So you may also have little areas either on your home page or in the footer, in some cases in the header, where you can use widgets as well, where you can drag and drop them, as you'll see in a minute. So there's a couple of widgets on this page. We've got something showing some latest posts, a little form for signing up to newsletter, and something I'll tell you about a bit later. So where do you get access to all those? You either go to your dashboard and then find it, or you can go straight to it from the admin menu if you've got it enabled. If you haven't got it enabled, then you can have a look at the WordPress Secrets bite-sized webinar where it tells you how to do that. So let's have a little look at the dashboard. So here we are on the dashboard. You go to Appearances and then Widgets, and that'll take you to the right page. If you can't see Appearances and then Widgets, it means you're probably not an administrator or don't have the access rights to be able to get access to change the widgets. If that's the case, then you need to talk to whoever set up your site and sort out getting the right access. So here we are in the widgets area. It has a couple of different areas. There's the widgets themselves that you drag over to the widget areas that are on the right. You also have a little thing down the bottom with inactive widgets that have come from other sidebars. You may or may not see that one. Okay, so let's go to the top here. So as I said, we've got the widgets that you have available, and you have widget areas. So let's have a little look at those first. So when you get them, you'll find one has been opened up, so you can see a little arrow to open it, and the others will be closed. If you want to drag anything to it, you need to open it first. Yours may not say this in it. That's because I've got an extra plugin installed on the system that does some stuff with widgets, which we'll look at in a bit. So the list of available widgets that you have will depend on the plugins that you have installed and your theme, both of which can add widgets to your system. So in this case, we're going to play around with the main sidebar. As you can see what we saw on the site before, which was our news posts, our recent posts, our form, and our custom menu. Let me show you how those things get there. So let's just clear that out for a minute. I'm just going to drag those off so we've got nothing left in it. So the way it works is you pick what you want to install. So here we are, recent posts. You optionally give it a title. So what actually appears here depends on the widget itself. So obviously this is to do with the post, so we're going to say number 3. I'm not going to do anything else, I'm just going to save that away. That's all you need to do to get that running. We had a form. Well, I use a product called Gravity Forms. So I'm just going to drag one of those across. I'm going to make it newsletter sign up. That was a form I've set up earlier, so I'm not going to put a title on that. I've got some advanced options I'm going to ignore for now. So that puts those back in. And I'll leave the menu for just a minute. So there's a whole range of different things that you can do. So you could put a search box over. Let's just drag one of those. There's our search. We might want to give it a title of search. So as I said, what you've actually got available is all dependent on the plugins that you have installed. If you want to keep settings from, say you don't want the search, but you might want to come back to it. You can drag it down the bottom here and put it in this inactive box here. And it's actually that one there that says search on it, so we'll put it back and we can drag it back up here. So every time you drag and drop it, that's really saving that widget, but it isn't saving the contents. So certainly if you make a change to the title, you'll need to save it. So if we have a look at the site now, let's just make sure that's gone back to what we, or nearly what we had before, but this time we've got a search box instead. So let's go back to, we should be able to go back to widgets. There we are. Okay. So there's lots of choice of different widgets. As I said, I have another little plugin that I'm going to activate called Dynamic Widgets, which will give us some other little bits of functionality. So let me just go off and do that. Right, so I'll actually have to find it. Dynamic widgets. Pretty sure that's the one. There are several plugins that allow you to do this, but this is quite a nice one. That's got quite powerful. There's quite a nice user interface in the other way that you actually action things. So let's go back to widgets and we'll see that's added some other bits on. So what that's done is that's actually given us this extra bit at the bottom here saying dynamic widgets. So at the moment it says it's static. So what we can do is we can actually, if we wanted this to only appear on certain pages or certain posts, then we can go into this setting and it'll allow you to make some changes. So say for example we only wanted it on certain pages. So we can say, right, show this widget by default on static pages. So yes, so basically it appears on all the pages apart from the ones that you tick. So if I didn't want it to appear on the, let's have a look, the FAQ pages and all the ones underneath that, all the ones that have a parent or a parent of a parent that is a FAQ page, it won't show it on. So that's one thing you can do. The other things you can do obviously with your home page, things that use particular templates. So every theme has a series of templates. So you can pick that you don't want to see it on particular templates, and the template may not include the sidebar anyway. You can do it for different browsers, show things for different week numbers, show things on different days. So you could have a Monday widget that appears, and you can pick date ranges. So that gives you an idea of some of the things that you can do with this plugin. So get your creative thinking hats on, because there's an awful lot you can do. So, and you can see there's a lot more that we haven't even looked at. So I've just made that not available on the FAQ page. So now if we go back to that one, it says dynamic, and it says there are options set for pages, so it gives you a bit of an idea of when that might appear or not. So if we just go and have a browse of the site, it was on the FAQ page, which I don't think is up here, so we'll try and guess the name of it, FAQs. So you can see we've no longer got that widget at the top. So we go back to another page. There's that widget at the top. So this is one way of getting over the problem that WordPress has, which is of having the same sidebar on every page. So now you can make it much more context relevant. One last thing or a couple of last things that people don't realize they can do with widgets. Firstly, you can create a menu. And it's a bite-sized webinar all about creating menus. So I've created a menu called Custom Menu because I'm imaginative, and I'm going to use the Custom Menu widget. So we'll create one called Top Topics. So I can pick the menu that I want to use, and again I can still make it dynamic if I wanted to. Save that away, Let's open up another window. So we'll open up another page with our website on. There it comes. There we go. So if we scroll down now, we've now got another little widget here. The actual formatting of these all depends on your theme. So your theme will decide what these actually look like, and obviously the widget itself has a little bit of control over things. So that's how to get those, how to create little extra menus. That might, again, because you can use that dynamic widget, you can make those sensitive to particular days. There is an option up here if you need it for if you want to not use drag and drop. You can, if that doesn't work for you, there's an accessibility mode. So that's giving you a bit of an overview of widgets. So that completes the Widget Wizardry lesson for today. I look forward to seeing you in another bite-sized webinar. From me, Rob Wilson at wpmeansbusiness.com. I'll see you next time.